Another kill to my name.
Hello, boys. Who wants to play, huh?
You like that?
Come and get some, you sons of bitches. Let's get the party started, gentlemen.
Can't run from me. Oh.
Caesar's dead. Bet he didn't see this coming when he was having his coffee this morning. Still, it's not gonna stop the Legion. It might not even slow them down.
Why do you think this wouldn't stop the Legion?
Intel we had back in the NCR said they had a whole succession lined up. They'll replace him as soon as word gets out. The other thing I heard is that he wasn't really commanding the army anymore. Guess we made sure of that.
Well, still feels pretty good though, doesn't it?
Yeah. That was some kind of stunt we pulled. Whatever happens from here on out, we killed that prick in the middle of his fortress. Ought to give the rest of them something to think about.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah.
Can't believe anyone actually made it through from the north, what with all the death claws at the quarry. You returning from New Vegas?
Yeah. What is this place?
This is Sloan, a camp for us quarry workers. The actual quarry, Quarry Junction, is up the road north of here. The whole thing is an NCR operation.
Right.
We make cement for the NCR using the limestone we dig out with dynamite and drag lines. Dirty work, but the pay's good. Wish we got paid in caps, though. Not a lot of merchants like taking NCR paper money.
So what does the NCR need with cement?
It all gets shipped by rail over towards Boulder City and Hoover Dam. The NCR is probably building fortifications with it all.
And what's a drag line?
It's a big machine which moves rocks around, piles at a time. It's pre-war tech, so you need to thump it once in a while to keep it running.
Sure. So you're saying you don't get paid in camps?
Nope. The NCR has been trying to switch over to using paper money, just like in the pre-war days. Trouble is that the exchange rates ain't exactly fair. For example, $100 in NCR money is valued at roughly half that in caps around here. Seems like a rotten deal for us, but work is work.
Let's talk about something else.
Sure.
Where did the death claws come from?
They moved into the quarry after the powder gangers came through and made off with most of our dynamite. We shut the quarry down while we waited for the NCR to get us some more blasting sticks, but now the death claws have shown up. The NCR is a no-show, and my men and I have got nothing to do but sit on our asses all day. It's damn frustrating.
Have you had problems with death claws before?
We'd see them occasionally, but they didn't seem too keen on getting too close to the quarry. Not sure if it was the noise or all the workers. I can't believe that an entire pack moved into the quarry. I thought that kind of bad luck only happened in New Vegas.
Well, you know, I could take care of your death claw problem.
I don't know what it is about you, but I think you could actually pull it off. Death claws are tough bastards, but you might be even tougher. Nobody here is any use to you in a fight against Deathclaws, but take these medical supplies. You'll probably need them. To do the job right, you've got to get rid of the pack leaders, the Mother Deathclaw and the Deathclaw Alpha Male. Should run the rest of them off.
Alright. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Goodbye.
If you insist on going north, don't be expecting a rescue when you get into trouble.
Alright.
Poor Snuffles. Wish somebody could do something about his leg.
Hello there. You're an odd little pet. How's it going? Uh-huh. Your leg appears to be injured. Right. Let me take care of that for you. There you go, Snuffles.
Let me ask you a question. What's
Yes?
the tastiest thing you've ever eaten?
Whew, anything that wasn't made 200 years ago?
Yeah, can you believe some people still eat that stuff? Anyway, I've got this recipe for a Deathclaw omelet that I've been itching to try out. Trouble is, I need a Deathclaw egg. Kinda obvious, I suppose.
Right. Where did you come up with this recipe?
My great-aunt Rose ran a bed and breakfast back in California, in a town called Modoc. She's the one who created the recipe in the first place. I don't know how she managed to get a hold of a female Deathclaw, but she kept it in a shed. Aunt Rose had a steady supply of eggs for her omelets. At least, she did until some stranger came along and killed the Deathclaw. Shot it right in the eye.
What a shame. So what are you offering in exchange for a Deathclaw egg?
I don't have much in the way of money, but I'd be willing to share the secret of the recipe.
Alright. Let's talk about something else.
All right. Do you need anything to eat or drink?
Nope.
All right, then.
This is a dangerous place, human, especially for your kind. I suggest you turn back. There's nothing good waiting for you further on.
What makes this a dangerous place?
You must have heard her radio broadcasts. Though why a human would follow her invitation here is beyond me, unless you didn't listen very closely. The voice on the radio belongs to Tabitha, the supreme commander of Black Mountain, or as she calls it, the state of Utobitha. She took control of this place almost 2 years ago. The super-mutants here do whatever she says, and she says humans are to be killed on sight.
Alright. So, what sort of trouble should I expect if I head up?
The road is a series of switchbacks up to the peak. There are 3 blockades plus patrols. Sneaking past them would be difficult. Just before the peak is a kind of shanty village. More second gens there. And then there's Tabitha's compound, heavily guarded by her nightkin.
Right. Well, you seem friendly, you know, for a mutant.
Keep saying things like that and I won't be so friendly. Not every super mutant is a brain-damaged brute. Many of us are just as intelligent as basic humans, and the rest don't really have any choice in the matter, do they?
Well, sorry about that. I didn't mean that to offend you.
And none taken, since you apologized.
Alright, tell me more about the Nightkin.
The Nightkin are vicious in combat, and that's if you see them coming. Most don't. They were created to be soldiers and given devices to camouflage them in battle. Unfortunately, the devices drove most of them mad over time. They spend most of their time at the top of the mountain, but patrol the roads after dark as well. You do well to avoid the mountain at night.
Alright, and how did Tabitha end up in control?
For years, Black Mountain was a peaceful community. Its leader, Marcus, broadcast an invitation to mutants throughout the wasteland. That's how I found Black Mountain. So did others, most of them second-generation mutants. Marcus welcomed everyone. That was his mistake. The community ended up being mostly second-gen, not very bright, but easy to influence. Fine until the Nightkin came along, led by Tabitha. In a week, she had most of the second gens thinking she was some kind of prophet, and that she should be broadcasting her truth, not Marcus. Marcus saw what was coming and decided to leave before things got out of hand. He smashed the radio and left to found Jacobstown.
And why are you here instead of Jacobstown?
Marcus sent me here a couple of months ago to check on Black Mountain. I suppose you could say I came here as a spy. But with no signs of Tabitha's weakening and none of the second gens ready to revolt or to come to Jacobstown, there wasn't much I could do. Down here, on the other hand, I've saved a dozen mutants from heading up the mountain. It's not much, but it's something. I have my own reasons to stay away from Jacobstown for a while. Reasons we won't be discussing. So I've stayed here.
Alright. You say Marcus smashed the radio. Not very well, I assume.
There's a sad story behind that. Marcus smashed it just fine, but while we were gone, some ghoul named Raoul came along. Tabitha turned him into her personal mechanic. A slave, really. See, if I'd been standing down here, I could have warned him before it was too late.
Alright. Well, listen. It sounds like you've had enough of Tabitha. What if you had some help?
Help would improve the odds. Help might just make the difference. Alright, if you're good enough at what you do to meet me in the village up near the peak, we can talk further. I'll have a plan by the time I see you, if I see you. Good luck. It's gonna be a lot harder for you to get up there than it will be for me.
Alright. Hello. Hey. Leave my dog alone. Leave my dog alone. Son of a bitch. Dumb mutant. Stupid ass second gem mutant. There we go, Rexy. Good boy. Where are you going, bud? Where are you going?
Pleasant surprise to see you made it. I'm ready to get started if you are.
Alright, let's do it.
Here's the plan. The gate to Tabitha's compound is guarded by several Nightkin, all of them using devices that make them invisible. I'm going to draw them away from the gate by telling them I spotted an intruder in the village. Then you slip in.
What? That's your plan? I am an intruder in the village.
Yes. So try to stay out of sight, because they'll be coming this way.
Alright. Let's go, Rex. Let's try to hide somewhere. We'll hide over here, I guess. What? Oh, come on. What? The fuck? Hey, come out of hiding. Oh. Oh. Oh, shit. God damn. Oh. The hell? Hello? Robot lies inert on the table, giving no indication of having worked recently or ever. Nameplate on part of the surface is scratched and mostly faded, but I can still make out the faint word Rhonda. Alright, let me check the robot circuitry here. I have quickly ascertained that the robot's current AI state is set to hibernate, likely a self-defense mechanism after the unit suffered catastrophic damage. Whoever repaired it probably didn't know how to reset its AI. After flipping the right switch, the robot...
Hello! Could you please direct me to Mistress Tabitha?
Jumps to life. Sure, follow me.
Thank you very much. My internal clock says it's been 6 years, 52 days, 40 minutes, and 13 seconds since I last spoke to her. I hope she hasn't gotten lonely.
Well, let's not keep her waiting any second longer. Right? What?
Rhonda? Is that you?
It is, Mistress Tabitha. How I've missed you so. This stranger here fixed me up right as rain. Is she a friend of yours?
I don't know how to thank you for bringing Rhonda back to me, stranger. Here, take this. I won't be needing it anymore.
Okay. Does this mean you're not gonna kill me?
No, of course not. I don't know what I'm gonna do now with Rhonda back.
Mistress Tabitha, we should be heading off. Our journey has been much delayed, but we can catch up if we hurry. Come along now.
Yes, Rhonda.
Alright, I'm in. Here we go. Let's do this. Disengage lock, please. There we go.
Took you long enough, so can I go now?
Hey man. What do you mean it took me long enough?
Sorry. I assumed the only reason you'd fight past a horde of super mutants and pick the lock on my cell is if you heard my cry for help on the radio. But maybe you're just sightseeing. So since the door's open and all, can I go now?
It's okay by me. Enjoy your freedom.
Alrighty then. I'll just head out. Alone. By myself. In the dangerous waste.
Alright. Do you want to tag along with me?
Anything's better than staying here. Let's go.
Alright.
Not to worry, boss. I'm sure killing the boss of one of the families will in no way lead to savage, bloody reprisals against you and your loved ones.
Excuse me? Alright, I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
Questions, boss? You mean you don't know everything there is to know already?
No, I don't. What can you tell me about Mr. House?
Just how old do you think I am, boss? Because I can pretty much guarantee I'm older than that. Let me tell you a story from before the Great War. Everybody knew Robert House. He was a genius, a superstar. Founded Robco at 22. Dated Hollywood starlets, the works. They say he saved Las Vegas. I was in Mexico City when the bombs dropped. Even from there, we could see House's defensive rockets shooting down the incoming missiles. Everybody assumed he died in the war. Maybe he did. But his robots are still out there roaming the waste. And now, a Mr. House rules New Vegas.
Well, maybe there is a connection. Can you remember anything else about Robert House?
I remember there were some weird stories about him, especially near the end. There was a tell-all in El Periódico de las Arboridas by a starlet House dated. She said they never, don't make me spell it out, boss. Anyway, she said all he wanted to do was scan her brain and make her dress up in different outfits.
Oh. That's sickening.
It was quite the scandal, at least in the Latin American tabloid journalism market.
So, you can't seriously think they're the same Mr. House.
Maybe not. Maybe the new guy is just a clever raider chief with knowledge of history. Maybe he just left instructions for his robots to carry out in his name. Or maybe Robert House uploaded his brain pattern into a computer and rules to this day a godless, soulless machine god. Maybe the whole thing's a crazy coincidence. Who knows?
Alright, fair enough. I had some other questions.
You're a veritable geyser of curiosity, boss.
Well, anyway, what's your take on the NCR?
They're alright, I suppose. Had a bit of tough going there at the beginning. You know their first town was nearly wiped out by raiders. Anyway, they got their good points and their bad. Just like a lot of the old governments from before the war.
Alright, I had some other questions.
You're a veritable geyser of curiosity, boss.
Yes, Raoul, yes. How do you feel about Caesar's Legion?
I don't really have a problem with them. People around here tend to see them as invading marauders planning to burn and pillage the countryside. But I've been to Arizona, boss. Before the Legion, it was a nasty place. So thick with raiders you couldn't trade with a town 2 miles up the road. Caesar's laws aren't nice, and their actions aren't always pretty. But then neither am I. But you keep me around.
Alright, I had some other questions.
You're a veritable geyser of curiosity, boss.
Yeah. Tell me about New Vegas.
It's big, it's bright, and it's one of the biggest cities still left from before the war. Well, mostly anyway. Used to be just a curiosity. The buildings were pre-war. But it's just as full of raiders and barbarian tribes as any place else. Then Mr. House took over. Got the power turned back on. And got the tribes reformed into something civilized. And now they run his casinos for him.
I see. Alright, Raul. Tell me about yourself.
Sure, boss. What do you want to know?
Well, let's start from the beginning. Who are you?
You forget about me already, boss? You sure you didn't take a blow to the head or something? My name is Raul.
Well, kind of. Alright, Raul Alfonso Tejera. Why does your jumpsuit say Miguel then?
Probably because it used to be Miguel's.
Oh, okay. I want to ask you something else about yourself.
I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out. But I'm an open book.
Uh-huh. Where are you from, Raul?
I was born just outside Mexico City. My family had a little ranch there.
Tell me something else about yourself.
I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out. But I'm an open book.
Yes. What does Petro Chico mean?
You never heard of Petro Chico? Un amigo de Poseidon Energy. Of course not. They were an oil company in Mexico back before the war.
Oh, interesting. Let me ask you something else about yourself.
I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out. But I'm an open book.
Yeah, okay. I hope you don't mind me asking this, but how old are you?
Old enough to know better, boss. Old enough to know better.
No better than what? Alright, okay. Let's ask another question.
I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out. But I'm an open book.
Raul, I'm about to burn this dumb Spanish book. I'm this close to burning it. Stop repeating yourself. Alright, last question. How'd you end up at Black Mountain?
Boss, when a giant, insane super mutant asks you to stay put, you do what you're told. Well, maybe you don't. But I'm just a broke-down old man.
But how did Tabitha find you in the first place?
It's stupid, boss. I used to listen to the radio broadcast, just to pass the time. Well, one day the signal stopped, so I figured I'd try to find a transmitter. I'm a pretty good repairman. Or I was before my eyes started to go. Anyway, I found Black Mountain and offered my services. But Tabitha decided I was useful enough to keep around. Permanently.
I see. Alright, that's all I wanted to know. We'll talk more later.
Anything you say, boss.
Howdy. What brings you back?
Remind me again, how long have you been stationed here?
Going on 6 months now, but I reckon we'll be moving out soon enough. Can't talk about the details. Till then, we'll man the towers and keep an eye on the fiends. We've had more than our share of trouble from their direction. Whole thing smells of Caesar to me. Of course, that's just guesswork. But I'd still bet a few caps he's stirring up the locals against us.
Alright, goodbye.
Always a pleasure. Keep yourself safe.
Got a second to talk, boss?
Sure, what's on your mind?
Meeting Corporal Sterling. Well, it kind of got me thinking. Here's a guy that's been beat all to hell, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he could have retired from the service. But instead, he signs back on and does what he can. You think he did the right thing?
Well, I think it's good that he's so devoted to his duty. More people should act that way.
You think so, boss? Because I remember a time when a lot of people stuck to their duty no matter what. It ended with nuclear bombs falling on my hometown.
You're talking about the Great War? What do you remember about
I
it?
grew up in a place called Hidalgo Ranch, just outside Mexico City. It wasn't much, just a bit of a farm, with a house for 3 generations of Tejadas. I wasn't the best behaved kid. I was quick with my hands, with a pistol or a wrench. And I wasn't afraid to get into fights over it. I never killed anybody, but I had my share of run-ins with the police. Mostly my family kept me in line. This was before the war. We were far enough away from Mexico City when the bombs fell that we missed the worst of it. But things got bad quick.
Go on.
Just a few days after Mexico City was vaporized, refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. We helped who we could, but there were so many. Eventually, my father started turning people away before we ran out of food. Things got violent. My father and I got our guns, and we drove them off.
What happened then?
About 24 men came back in the night after we'd gone to sleep. They set fire to the ranch house and barred the doors from the outside. My whole family was trapped inside. I smelt the smoke, and I got myself and my little sister Rafaela out through a window. But everyone else, my parents, my grandmother, my 2 brothers, and 2 of my sisters, all died.
And what happened then?
Rafaela and I ran. We were pursued by some of the men who attacked our home. But I was always a good shot. The ones who came after us, I killed. The rest, I left be. I had to take care of Rafaela, not throw my life away on revenge.
Well, you can't think it was your fault. No one could send against a dozen armed men all alone.
I know that, boss. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting sentimental in my old age. Anyways, forget it. Just wanted that off my chest.
Alright. Well, thanks for sharing with the class, Mr. Tejada. Tejada.
What's new?
Hey there, Andy. You're with the NCR, right?
Was with them. That was back when my arm and leg used to work better. I still like to pretend I'm a ranger, though. I'll check in with the guys up at the station pretty regular on the ham radio. Sometimes they stop by, tell me they're paying their respects, the smug bastards. They haven't been responding to me last couple days. I guess they got tired of hearing me talk, but it still got me a little worried. Hell, listen to me talk, like some damn mother hen.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Like what?
Did you do something to your leg?
Yeah, twice. Actually, the first time, it was more like half my body. Knocked me out of the Rangers. This time, it's mostly just reminded me how useless I've gotten.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Goodbye.
Look out for yourself.
Yep.
Hey, boss. Can I ask you something?
Sure, Raul. What's on your mind?
What do you think of guys like Ranger Andy?
What do you mean, guys like Ranger Andy? He seems like a decent guy.
That wasn't what I meant, really. I mean guys who have a world of experience doing what they do, but have to give it up because they're getting old and slow or too injured.
Well, just because someone's crippled doesn't mean they're useless. All that experience is invaluable.
Yeah, I suppose you could still teach. Take a less active role in the world. That's not so bad.
Yeah. Is that what you did?
Would it surprise you to know that I used to be a gunslinging adventurer? After the fire, I knew my sister and I couldn't stay at Hidalgo Ranch anymore. The refugees still wanted me dead. They even put a bounty on me. I remember how scared Rafaela was. I told her if she came with me, we'd see the vaqueros. She used to love the rodeo, especially the trick riders. We figured maybe we could find help in Mexico City. We were young. We didn't know what had happened, really. We didn't understand about the bombs.
Wasn't Mexico City basically annihilated in the Great War?
I don't think it was as hard hit as D.C. or Bakersfield. But it was bad enough. By the time we got there, the city was a radioactive ruin. Still, the city was full of looters, already forming into the beginnings of raider tribes. Crime was bad before the war, but now it was a nightmare. We were living like scavengers, scraping by on what little food we could find, always looking for medicine for my burns. And then, of course, the radiation started to kick in, turning me into this handsome devil you see before you.
Sounds pretty bad.
You're a poet of understatement, boss. But there were moments it was almost worth it. I still remember finding that novelty costume shop. I was just looking around for something I could slice up to wrap my burns when I saw the vaquero outfit hanging on the rack like it hadn't been touched. I took it, not like anybody else needed it, you know, and wore it back to our camp. Rafaela laughed for the first time since the bombs had fallen.
Wasn't it dangerous to be dressed so noticeably?
It was. I started to build up a legend. Sometimes it headed off trouble, but most of the times it just started more. Young punks looking to prove themselves would come looking for me, but my eyes were sharp and my guns were quick. For a while, it seemed like we might even survive there, until Rafaela.
Go on. What happened to Rafaela?
She went out to find some food one day. I was sick, so I stayed at our camp. I guess it must have been the beginning of radiation poisoning. Anyway, it was supposed to be safe, but some raiders happened to pass through where she was scavenging. I won't speak of what they did to her. When I found her body, the only way to recognize her was this funny little scar on her knee from when she was a little girl.
It's terrible, Raul.
Terrible doesn't begin to cover it, boss. I led my whole family down. First the ranch, now Rafaela. I was the last Tejada. I guess maybe I went a little crazy then. I took my guns and went back to that market. I didn't have many bullets, but I had enough. After the raiders were dead, I salvaged what I could from the store. I was tired. I just wanted to be alone forever.
So what did you do?
I left Mexico City behind. I made my way out to the Gulf Coast. Eventually, I found an old Petro Chico refinery nobody had claimed. I stayed there for a little while, and I thought a lot about my life. I thought about the guns I'd lived by and what they'd gotten me. I decided my guns hadn't gotten me anything, and it was time to give it up. I took off the old vaquero outfit and put on a Petro Chico jumpsuit. The name tag said Miguel, so I started using the name myself. Eventually, I made it to Arizona. That's another story, boss.
All right, Raul.